Welcome back, gamers. Today I'm going to review Dying Light the Following, which is a recent expansion to the Dying Light game. Now, what took me so long to beat this expansion? I gotta say, I lost my save file, I had to restart the game, and the expansion forces you to do the prologue, so I had to go back to the original game, and once finishing the prologue, the game says that it's recommended for level 12 and up, and I was like, ugh. So I went ahead and leveled up to 8, and jump right into the expansion, and it was hard, especially for level 8, but I put up with it. I had a few people from the community help me out with some weapons and items here and there. I felt like a complete noob because I haven't played this for a while, but overall it got me back into the game because it was actually pretty good. Now, upon playing the expansion, I thought I was going to be hindered by a lot of locations because I didn't have a grappling hook, which isn't the case at all because there's a lot of places that you can climb into and get stuck in, but there are ways to get out of it. So thank God that they stayed with that formula of leaving things for people who don't have the higher level items and stuff. Anyways, onward to the story of the game. I don't want to spoil too much of it, but after the event of Dying Light, a courier stops the city of Haran and in his last dying breath speaks of a cure for the disease. While the people of Haran are running out of antizin, Kyle decides to risk it and go see what this is about, and at the same time he learns about a cult surrounding this. And of course, as Kyle goes out to the countryside, nobody trusts him because he was an outsider. So in order to gain any trust at all, you're going to have to gain reputation, which is the new system in the game. The game developers want you to gain reputation in game in order to progress in the main story itself, to go at their pace, which can be okay at times, but it can be quite tedious depending on how you look at it. If you don't enjoy doing stories or quests and stuff like that, you probably won't like this game much because there's going to be a lot of quests in this game. There's going to be a lot of side quests, there's going to be a lot of quests to help the people, and of course there's community quests and dailies that pop up through the map. There's a lot of content in terms of quests. Are the quests memorable? Some of them are good, but they weren't too great, and none of the characters for me was memorable, and that's a personal opinion. Now, even though the side stories and the characters in the game itself wasn't that memorable for me, the main storyline was quite interesting and had multiple endings, which left room for a sequel. And of course, we come to the most important aspect of the game. How is the gameplay? Much of the formula is pretty much the same, but they added more to it. This time around, the game takes place in a different map. And the map itself is a country map, so there's a lack of parkour and buildings to do free runnings on. They have a lot of pipes and little towns that you can do this, so there are antenna towers you can climb, there are buildings, there's a little highway out there, and of course there are cars all over the place because this time you even get to drive. So the best part is you get this little buggy that you can build on. Yes, that's right, the buggy has its own leveling system. As you level the buggy, you'll get more and more mods to it. You can change its paint job and of course customize it. You can have different level brakes in it. It isn't too complex. Think of it as a shell. As you level up the car by running over zombies or doing all these car quests, you start getting better and better. You start seeing pieces. You can find pieces for it. You can assemble it to the car and make it better. There are better rims out there. You can craft certain pieces such as engines, etc. And as you do so, the car gets better in handling and in terms of taking damage because the car can be destroyed if you run into trees or cars, which is not in the physics of the game yet. It'll just bounce you back, unfortunately, but hopefully in the future we'll see a lot more physics when running over things if they do include a vehicle in the future again. Now, aside from driving the vehicle in the countryside, what other fun is there than to drive with another co-op player? It's pretty fun to play with another player and watch how bad they drive as they hit trees and vehicles. It's fun to just be in the backseat also shooting at zombies if you wanted to, or just enjoying the scenery. Because the game is still atmospheric, some days it's windy, sometimes it rains, it's pretty nice to see the weather change. And also, driving at night is one of the scariest things in the game, especially for this game, because you never know what you run into. And yes, of course, zombies can kill you too, because if you run into something that explodes, you're gonna take damage. Also, they'll hang on your car and punch you. And of course, you're not invincible just because you have a vehicle. If you damage the vehicle too much, you will die. If you need to repair it, you're going to have to find pieces all over the place. You can buy it from vendors, or you can find it from wrecked cars along the way. You can also reset the vehicle position, which they added to the system in case you get your car flopped upside down or something, thank God. And also, if you go to safe houses, you can recall your car to the area if you lose it. But they don't keep the gas that they have in them, so you have to find gas and refill it as much as you need for the travel. Now keep in mind that if you don't have enough gas, your car is going to run out of gas and it'll stop. So it could be a dangerous times when you stop your car in the middle of the night somewhere and you don't have any gas left. It's very dangerous. Aside from just the vehicle, the map this time around in the countryside is pretty big. There's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of daily content you'll find, side quests, and things to explore, such as caverns and also volatile hives. The volatile hives are super dangerous during the daytime. I've decided to explore some of them for the first time, and was I horrified, because all the volatiles, or all the high-end volatiles, are in there, and they will destroy you. Thank God I decided to go ham, and thanks to the new weapons and mods, I was able to kill them by sniping them with a crossbow. Yes, the crossbow is in the game, along with some new weapons in the game. There's also a bow that you can use, and you can craft different arrows. There's impact arrows, stun arrows, etc., which are really fun. It's really satisfying to shoot your enemies and sneak on them, retrieving the ammo from their body to do more damage to the others. Nice. So that's just some of the new weapons that are in the game, along with some other guns and weapon mods. Aside from the enemy, there isn't too many breeds or varieties of zombies except for the giant ones in the game, but they are super freaky, especially when you see them. There isn't too many other breeds of zombies, but this one adds a nice touch to the countryside, especially when you see just that giant hulking monster in the middle of the field throwing rocks at you when you're hanging by the tower enjoying the environment, not knowing what happened or where that rock came from. As for the map of the new area itself, it's really, really big and full of juicy content, from the main storyline quests to the side quests that you have to do, and also the dailies and community quests that will pop up. There's also those blue quests that will pop up where you save people, traders having a certain time of day that they will sell stuff to you, bloaters that run around that you'll have to catch with your car and kill, which is some of the mini games you'll find out there. In which case, the maps also adds a lot more cave systems in the game where you can explore. Since it is an open area or open countryside, you'll see less parkouring. Of course, there are new parkour animations, but there isn't enough buildings in the game to parkour around in. There are little towns here and there that you can find and jump on, but it's missing a majority of the parkour and free running you've seen in the vanilla version. Which is not too bad because it leaves room for your car to drive around in, but there are certain bridges you can climb, satellite towers, and also water towers. I mean, stuff you'll see in the countryside you can pretty much climb on, and pipes, of course. And for those of you guys that likes to play the game and go past the levels and beyond, there is now a new nightmare mode, which is much harder for you guys. The nights are longer, the detections are higher, and also the AI is even more aggressive. The items are even better. Along with that, there's a new tree that you can spec in called the Legend Tree. For those of you who fancy PvP, it's still in the game. The hunters can still join your game and hunt players, but this time around it's going to be in the open countryside, so it's much scarier because there's a lot of openness. You'll never know where he's going to come from, and the travel distance for each of the volatile nest is farther, so you have to use your vehicle. Now, this doesn't mean you're safe because they can jump on your vehicle and claw at you. The other thing is they can attack you by biling at your vehicles, but if you forget your vehicle, sometimes you can call it on the spot. Other times, if you are still alive, you're not going to be able to call it, and let's say you forgot it somewhere, you're going to either have to go back to it, or you're going to have to haul on foot, and that is the most scariest part of the game, is running in the middle of the darkness, not knowing what's going to attack you or where it's coming from. And to pretty much sum up the amount of content you'll get out of this game, it'll be about 15 hours plus, and that's for me finishing the story mode and a little bit of rushing. Now, if you're going to do everything on the map, it'll probably take you a lot longer, so there's a lot of content to do, to explore, and to find. The expansion wasn't the greatest, but it was pretty good. It did a lot of great things that most majority of content you see out there doesn't do, and for 20 bucks it's definitely well worth the price, especially if you own the Dying Light game or you have the season pass. You'll get it for free, so you definitely should check it out because it'll make you jump back into the game, explore the harder end-game content. As for me, I'm definitely ready for Dying Light 2. I want to see new breeds of zombies, new mechanics, and new systems in the game. And this is pretty much my review of Dying Light the following. Thanks for watching, guys, and game on. Oh crap. Didn't even realize the lake was here. Well. Trying to go on off-road adventures. I'm sorry, man. Didn't mean to crash your car in the lake.